The Greatest Showman features 11 original songs, which make up for around 40 minutes of runtime. This is almost half of the entire film, and I think the rest is fading in comparison. Right from the very first shot, The Greatest Showman is filled with big, modern musical numbers, and this is what I love most about it. Hugh Jackman is an all-around showman in real life. He can sing, he can dance, he can play Wolverine. And this film has been a dream project for him for years. It was written by Jenny Big and Bill Conton, best known for Candyman, Farewell to the Flash, and minor movies like Dreamgirls or this year's Beauty and the Beast. The director is less known as this is Michael Gracey's directorial debut, and maybe the film would have benefited from a more experienced filmmaker, because it doesn't all work that well. The story feels kind of rushed, the characters are only very thinly written, and the themes and setting could have been more focused as well. The Great Showman is inspired by the life of P.T. Barnum, who was an American politician, showman, businessman, and founder of the Barnum and Bailey Circus. The film is therefore set in the past and tells the story of how Barnum fulfilled his dream of becoming the greatest showman. But from a biographical standpoint, it covers only a few aspects of Barnum's life, and they took many liberties with it. Which is fine, of course, but should be noted. It starts with Barnum still being a small boy, the son of a simple tailor, and yet already dreaming of making it big. He meets Charity, who belongs to a rich family. They fall in love, and with the song A Million Dreams we move from their childhood to the movie's present day. And the boy turns into a late 40s Hugh Jackman, and the girl, who was at the same age, into a 10 years younger Michelle Williams. The age gap between Barnum and Charity's father shrinks from something like 40 years to about 10. Of course, they make up with some movie magic, but it felt a little bit funny nevertheless. But overall, the whole song and the transition were quite beautiful. The Greatest Showman doesn't aim to be a very nuanced biopic, but instead is giant, inspirational musical that will give you a good time at the movies. In that regard, it kind of succeeds, and the main reason are the song and dance numbers, which I really liked a lot. There are 11 songs in total, of which 2 are reprises. The lyrics were written by Ben Pasek and Justin Paul, who won an Oscar for La La Land just last year. The music is contemporary and very modern and full of energy and emotions. If you're into pop, you will have a great time, I think. I pretty much enjoyed all of them, and some even brought me to tears. The texts are rather vague, as often with pop music, but the songs convey a lot of emotions. They are more about big ideas, great longings, than they are directly telling a very fleshed out story. The same goes for the whole film, and this is where it gets a little bit problematic for me. Pretty much all the characters are quite underwritten, and the themes themselves don't fit into a very interesting narrative either. For a long time I wasn't sure what exactly Barnum's dream were made of. It seemed to boil down to make a great living, having money, a big house, showing his father-in-law that he made it. He wants to bring joy to the people, but I was under the impression that it was more about his own success. Yes, to care for his family for sure, but the showman aspect, and especially the idea of giving different people who are considered outcasts by society a voice, it all didn't come together that well. At the halfway point it gets a little bit more into focus that he neglects the ones who made him big, and in the end his arc gets stronger, but it wasn't enough to make it really magnetic. The problem is that the other characters aren't that fleshed out either. Michelle Williams is just a supporting wife, Zac Efron plays his partner who builds a stronger connection to the people of their show, at the same time Jackman's character is drifting more and more away, but it doesn't feel that justified. The main reason must be that he falls in love with Zendaya's character Anne Wheeler, which was a big taboo at the time, but it's love at first sight, and Anne basically has no character traits at all. She has been an outsider all her life, but that's it. And this goes for the other members of Barnum's show as well. There's a bearded lady, there's a little person, a guy with tattoos all over his body, a werewolf-like man, and so on. But we don't get to know any of them really. Again, apart from there being differentness. The ideas and themes are there, but the characters seem to be reduced to just that. It's very broad and in your face, and maybe that's the way to go in a big spectacle musical like this, but I would have really liked to delve deeper into those personalities. The way the movie unfolds, I was moved by the songs a lot, but not by anything else in between. Maybe the best example for this is the character Jenny Lind, played by Rebecca Ferguson. Her character has probably the most striking, most beautiful song in the movie, Never Enough. The moment gave me such goosebumps, but her actual character is totally bland and just a plot device for Barnum's arc. Their relationship is very superficial and again, doesn't convey real emotions. Actually, the question of what's real and what's fake is a theme of the movie, but it gets kind of muddled. The real P.T. Barnum used hoaxes and deceptions. He claimed, for example, to expose a woman who was over 160 years old, which was of course a lie. It was for the show, to bring some fantasy and wonder into the lives of the people. In the movie version, Paul Sparks plays a critic who continuously accuses Barnum of producing fake entertainment. But in the movie, pretty much everything is depicted as real, meaning that the outcasts are really what they appear to be. So is the term fake just being applied to the grand spectacle? Maybe, but I found this to be a little bit confusing. I mean, yeah, the spectacle itself is very broad and artificial, but more so because the movie doesn't really delve into its making or its actual realities. All of a sudden there are giant elephants, big stunts, and of course songs and dances. It's a weird film and kind of a mess, but for me, it's a very enjoyable mess and it's hard to rate it with a specific score. I thought the songs were fantastic and the movie had a lot going for it, but in the end it's kind of shallow and extremely underwritten and unfocused. In German I'd say, die Songs werde ich mir noch sehr oft geben, den Film höchstwahrscheinlich nicht. I give The Greatest Showman 6 out of 10. It's more like 6.4, but I don't do that.
No one ever made a difference by being like everyone else.
Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about The Greatest Showman. And also let me know what's your favorite musical. You can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.